What's up, y'all? This is Relly, y'all, back with another video. Yes, and today we got to talk about some trade packages that involve Cedi Osman. But before we get into the video, I need y'all to smash that subscribe button. And if you are already subscribed to my channel, share it to somebody who ain't subscribed, because we are still on that grind. Cedi must go. For 4 years, Cedi has been a cool piece to have on our roster, but with his inconsistencies, I think this will be the best time to trade the 12-point per game Cedi Osman. And I believe that he would be a great asset for a more established team, especially if they can get him for the right price. Not gonna lie, I truly miss making trade ideas, especially trade ideas that will affect my hometown team. This is why every trade I make, I seriously try to make it fair for both sides, trying to imagine how it would feel to be on the other side of the table. But with all that being said, and I know I keep saying that a lot on every single video, we got to talk about the first trade idea that I've created, right? And the first trade idea I have is with us dealing with the New York Knicks, right? The Cavs will be giving up Cedi Osman, a 2022 second round via the Washington Wizards, and a 2022 second rounder via the San Antonio Spurs to receive Kevin Knox. I think Kevin Knox, if developed, could honestly be a legitimate piece. And I know the Cavs will give him the tick to show his true value on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, I still know that we need shooters. We need some shooters. And I just potentially traded one of our shooters. But I still have some other trading options for Cedi. And on the subject of shooters, the Cleveland Cavaliers desperately need some shooters. Cedi Osman cannot, and I mean cannot, be the only and best shooter on the team, right? And it's not a knock to Cedi Osman. It's just when you look at our roster, or if you watch any of the Cleveland Cavaliers, you realize when Cedi Osman is inconsistent, which is a consistent theme, ironically, you realize how bad the Cleveland Cavaliers look on the court, right? Because when you have Colin Sexton and Darius Garland driving to the paint and not really scanning the court, it kind of puts us in position where we have to shoot very, very well if Colin Sexton decides that he's going to have tunnel vision, right? And this is one of the biggest fears I had about Colin Sexton, was if he was going to improve in terms of passing, because passing for him is going to be very detrimental. He doesn't have to be a Chris Paul type of passer, Luka Doncic type of passer, Ben Simmons type of passer, but he must be aware, because right now his vision is more on the side of Russell Westbrook. Meaning when Russell Westbrook gets in that mode, that's all he sees, and that can have a very huge negative effect on the roster as a whole. Yes, it makes you look good because it shows how much of a dog you are, how much you're willing to do whatever it takes to win a game. But when you realize that you're 13 for 30 and your team just lost by 45, what did that really do for the actual team itself? You get what I'm saying? And I think one of the easiest fixes to that is to get some shooters. Want to join a community of people who likes to debate and post memes and news about basketball? Well, join my Discord and join the grind season. Let's build a community of passionate NBA fans. The link will be down in the description box below. See you there. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This trade was truly inspired by the constant question about how you feel about Marvin Bagley. So, I made a trade package that would have us hitting the line of the Kings. So, the Cleveland Cavaliers would give up Andre Drummond, Cedi Osman, and a 2022 first round pick, as well as a 2022 second round pick via San Antonio, to receive Buddy Hield and Marvin Bagley. Sincerely, I can see Koby Altman making this trade to double down on the new direction. The only thing about this trade is that we basically told Kevin Love that we're moving on completely from him. Also, I think a lot of people might ask, why throw in a 2022 first round pick? because I feel like giving up a 2021 first round unprotected pick will be giving up too much alongside Andre Drummond and Cedi Osman. And I feel like this trade is already really good for the Sacramento Kings aspect, especially when I said they're getting Andre Drummond, who I believe would gel perfectly with De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Haliburton. And they're getting Cedi Osman that's, you know, filling in the void of Buddy Hield in terms of shooting, but at a cheaper price, which gives the Sacramento Kings a lot of wiggle room, you know, already when it's very, very hard for them to attract free agents just as well as the Cleveland Cavaliers. And them getting that 2022 first round pick, it gives them some more insurance just in case either Cedi Osman or Andre Drummond is just not the right fit for the Sacramento Kings. And I kind of know a lot of people would have questions about Buddy Hield because they're going to look at his age and then they're going to look at his contract of him making $24 million and they're going to ask, you know, is that the best option for the Cleveland Cavaliers? And I say to them that even if it's not, I think Buddy Hield gives us a lot more options than Andre Drummond would have given us, because for starters, Buddy Hield's a guard who can shoot the ball, which makes him a lot more attractive than a lot of talent that we have in our roster, including Andre Drummond. And I think Buddy Hield gives us the option, even if we don't want him, we could get a third or fourth team involved that would take on the Buddy Hield contract and probably give us some picks or something in return to make up for that. Or we can keep Buddy Hield and flip him later in the, before the trade deadline in March. Or we can just use him as a three-point threat, right? And I think all three of those options are legitimate for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And you got to realize, like, Buddy Hield is a great size for a shooting guard. He's a really great size for a shooting guard. So even if we keep him, it wouldn't be that bad. And I feel like he would give us a lot of different ways we can attack our roster, especially because he's a good three-point shooter. Now, this last trade does not have Cedi Osman in it, and I will explain myself later. But I want to address this trade idea because this trade idea right here is the big boy. This will be a 5-team trade with the Cavaliers, the Nets, the Raptors, the Heat, and the Thunder discussing trade talks, right? The Cavs would be receiving Avery Bradley, Kelly Olynyk, Spencer Dinwiddie, and 2 second-rounders, right? The Nets would receive JaVale McGee. The Raptors would receive Andre Drummond. The Heat would receive Kyle Lowry. And the Thunder would receive Myers Leonard and Kendrick Nunn. So you're probably wondering, what was my reasoning behind not having Cedi Osman in the last trade ideas? Well, for starters, the money wouldn't have worked. It would have made it very, very complicated. And you would have had to add a 6th or 7th team to really make it a flawless trade for all teams involved, because Miami Heat had to give up a certain amount of money just to get Kyle Lowry. And then the Nets would have had to give up a certain amount of money just to acquire a JaVale McGee because they're so over the cap. You get what I'm saying? So it would have been a lot of very complicated things. But for me, I feel like the Cleveland Cavaliers is in a situation where we just want options. And this one, I feel like the players we get back would give us options, because now we're saying, all right, now that we got more players or better players that complement our roster, now we can truly see if it's just Cedi Osman, is he worth the money? Or we can package one of those players alongside Cedi Osman, probably add Kevin Love to try to get him up out of here, and actually get some assets in return that makes our future better. Down in the comments below, let me know if you liked any of the trade ideas. And if not, let me know what you think would be a better trade idea for Cedi Osman. And for more amazing content, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can be a part of the grind. And with that being said, go.
Hey. Motivated all about cash flow, ran it up and ran out of excuses. In the field and we turned into hoopers. For the clip like bonds we shoot. Just like some soldiers we trooping. Step back 3, we hooping. We on house just like Fortnite.